You know those incredible materials that are sort of quietly everywhere, making modern life work, but we hardly ever think about them.
Right, the unsung hero.
Exactly. Well, today we're taking a deep dive into one of those foundational players, the Global Fluoropolymer Resins Market.
Okay.
Okay, so let's maybe unpack this a bit. These aren't just, standard plastics. We're talking materials with unique superpowers.
Uh-huh. Like what?
Well, incredible chemical resistance, for one, legendary nonstick properties, think Teflon, but beyond just cookware,
Mm-hmm.
and durability that lets them handle really extreme conditions.
Yeah, really tough stuff.
And they're everywhere, absolutely vital in, well, everything from your car and buildings to cutting-edge electronics, even life-saving medical devices.
Pretty much indispensable in modern manufacturing.
Absolutely. So our mission for this deep dive is to pull out the most important insights from the latest market outlooks and really chart where this critical sector is headed, say, over the next decade, up to 2033.
And what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how those specific characteristics you mentioned, that extreme resistance, the durability, they aren't just nice-to-haves.
Right.
They directly translate into making these materials indispensable. I mean, in many high-stakes applications, fluoropolymers are often the only material that can actually perform reliably under those demanding conditions.
So that unique capability really underpins their market value.
Precisely. That's exactly what drives the significant market value we see.
And when we talk significant value, we're talking about a seriously impressive scale here. I mean, the market generated, what, over $5 billion back in 2021?
That's right, just over $5 billion. And looking forward, those numbers are set to grow quite dramatically.
Quite dramatically.
Well, projections show the market nearly doubling. We're looking at over $9.4 billion by 2033.
Wow, nearly doubling.
Yeah, and that translates to a strong compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, of about 5.3% over that period. It's robust growth.
So what's propelling that kind of expansion? What's the core engine driving it?
The overarching driver is really a relentless global demand for high-performance materials. Industries are constantly pushing boundaries. They need components that can survive harsher environments, maybe extreme temperatures, corrosive chemicals, or intense electrical loads. Fluoropolymers just perfectly fit that niche.
Makes sense.
And you see this especially in rapidly expanding sectors like, say, advanced electronics, semiconductors, aerospace, and new energy technologies. The material requirements there are getting incredibly stringent.
So, okay, that's the impressive global picture. But where is this growth actually playing out most dramatically on the map? Are there any regions that might surprise us?
Absolutely. When we zoom in regionally, Asia-Pacific, well, it
Okay.
clearly stands out. It's projected to have the fastest growth.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
its market was already nearly $1.9 billion in 2021. It's expected to more than double, think almost $3.7 billion by 2033. That's a CAGR pushing close to 6%.
6%. Wow. And within Asia Pacific?
China is absolutely the growth engine there. It's set to scale from roughly $757 million to over $1.5 billion by 2033. That gives it the highest regional AGR at 6.4%.
What's driving that in China specifically?
Well, it isn't just general manufacturing. It seems fueled by massive domestic investments in high-tech sectors, like 5G infrastructure, advanced battery production,
Yeah.
areas where fluoropolymers are just essential.
Okay. And elsewhere in the region?
India is also showing incredible momentum. Its market size is expected to more than double, hitting over $720 million.
Huh.
And then, of course, you have other major players like Japan, South Korea, and Southeast Asia contributing significantly, particularly in their thriving electronics and automotive industries.
That's a phenomenal expansion story in Asia. Now, let's shift our gaze a bit. North America, which, already holds a very significant chunk of this market, what does its trajectory look like?
Right, North America is still a powerhouse. Its market was valued at nearly $1.4 billion in 2021. It's expected to cross $2.4 billion by 2033. So still growing, maintaining a steady CAGR just under 5%, around 4.8%.
And the U.S. dominates there, I assume?
It does, yeah. The United States accounts for the lion's share, growing from about $1.1 billion to almost $1.9 billion. That's primarily driven by robust demand in aerospace, defense, advanced electronics.
Right. Think of all the high-performance wiring and coatings needed there.
Exactly. And Canada and Mexico are also expanding steadily, too, with growth rates actually above 5%. So they're definitely contributing to that regional strength.
Okay, steady growth in North America. What about Europe? How does it stack up?
Europe remains a very substantial contributor. It was valued at over $1.1 billion in 2021, projected to hit nearly $2 billion by 2033. So that's a TIGR just over 5.1%. Pretty solid.
And who's leading in Europe? Germany?
Germany continues to lead, expected to reach over $420 million. The UK is close behind, actually showing a slightly higher CEI around 5.35%.
Interesting.
Yeah, and here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Even some smaller economies like Luxembourg and the sort of rest of Europe category are showing above-average growth. Well, it seems driven by increasing adoption in really specialized industrial coatings and high-performance applications. Think renewable energy infrastructure, precision engineering areas where even small volumes command quite high value.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how even smaller players can carve out these specialized high-impact growth stories. So what about the truly emerging markets, South America, for instance?
Yeah, South America. The market started around $330 million in 2021. It's forecasted to more than double, hitting over $719 million by 2033. That marks a strong CGR, nearly 5.5%.
And Brazil leads there.
Brazil's leading that growth, yeah. It seems fueled by increasing demand for these high-performance plastics in its burgeoning automotive and construction sectors.
Okay.
And countries like Colombia and Chile are also showing above-average growth rates, which kind of signals broader industrial modernization happening across the continent.
Right. And finally, let's just round out the regional tour, the Middle East and Africa.
Okay. It's a relatively smaller market overall, but it's undeniably expanding. The Middle East was about $244 million in 2021, projected to reach over $400 million by 2033.
Leaders there?
Saudi Arabia and Turkey seem to be at the forefront, investing quite heavily in infrastructure and diversifying their industries.
And Africa?
Africa, while smaller in scale, is growing steadily. Its CAGR is over 4.2%. Nigeria and South Africa are emerging as strong contributors, mainly due to growing demand in their industrial and infrastructure applications.
So it really shows how these materials are kind of foundational almost to global development everywhere.
Exactly. It touches so many developing areas.
So, okay, if we take all these regional numbers, all this data, and connect it back, what does this all mean for you, listening in, trying to track these global trends? What are the key growth drivers really powering this expansion?
Well, I'd say there are three primary drivers that really stand out. First, it's the significant rise in electronics manufacturing, particularly in critical components like semiconductors and high-performance wiring. Think about your smartphones, advanced computing, data centers. They all rely heavily on fluoropolymers for insulation, protection.
Makes sense. What's number two?
Second, there's this ever-increasing demand for specialized coatings and non-stick applications.
Ah, the Teflon effect, but broader.
Exactly. Not just in kitchenware, although that's the famous one, right? But also in demanding industrial processes where preventing sticking or corrosion is absolutely crucial.
Okay. And the third?
And third, we're seeing expanding use in medical devices.
Oh, interesting. Why there?
Well, it's largely down to fluoropolymers' biocompatibility and their inherent safety. Essentially, they can be safely used inside the human body without causing adverse reactions or leaching harmful substances.
So ideal for implants, catheters, things like that.
Precisely. Implants, catheters, surgical instruments. It's a growing and critical application area.
It really does hammer home the incredible versatility, doesn't it? And the critical nature of these materials across so many fundamental parts of modern life. But robust growth like this doesn't usually come without some hurdles, right? What are the challenges this industry faces moving forward?
That's a crucial point, yeah. While the growth story is strong, there are significant challenges. First, you've got the inherent volatility of raw material prices. That can really impact profitability and supply chain stability.
Always a factor.
Always. Second, and perhaps more importantly these days, are the environmental concerns. These relate to some aspects of fluoropolymer processing and also end-of-life considerations. There's definitely increasing pressure on companies to adopt greener alternatives and more sustainable manufacturing practices.
So this raises a really important question then. With these environmental concerns, the push for sustainability, what does that actually mean for the future of the industry itself? How might it, reshape things?
Well, it means that innovation in sustainable practices and materials isn't really optional anymore. It's becoming essential for long-term success.
Right.
Companies that focus on developing, say, new, greener fluoropolymer solutions or improving recycling processes or offering highly specialized application-specific innovations, those will be the ones that not only navigate these challenges but actually thrive and really dominate and shape the market's future.
So it's a call for continuous evolution within the industry.
Absolutely. Adapt or fall behind, essentially.
Okay, well, that brings us towards the close of this deep dive. We've definitely seen a remarkably robust growth path for the fluoropolymer resins market. I mean, set to nearly double in size between 2021 and 2033.
Quite something.
Yeah, Asia Pacific is clearly leading the charge with incredible momentum. North America and Europe remain foundational strongholds, and those emerging regions are steadily and quite impactfully catching up.
And I think if we connect this to the bigger picture for you, the listener, understanding these specialized materials and their market dynamics, well, it provides a really fascinating lens to view broader global industrial trends.
So,
It shows how these seemingly invisible components are truly at the heart of manufacturing innovation. They're driving everything from advanced electronics to new medical technologies and even kind of dictating the pace of development in emerging economies. It's quite fundamental.
absolutely. So here's a final thought to leave you with. As this indispensable market continues its rapid evolution, how might that increasing push for more sustainable materials, the greener alternatives we talked about, how might that truly reshape not just the industry itself, but maybe the very products we all rely on every single day?